Welcome back to Newtown Orchard. We're in the studio again today. Today is March 21st. Spring started officially yesterday. Over the weekend, we've had over 60-mile-an-hour gusts, which damaged some of our buildings over in the nursery. It took down my barn doors. So we've been pretty busy trying to just clean up after the storm. With spring also comes swarms of bees. This time of year, the queen is laying like crazy. She's building up her hive and she's preparing to take a flight with a group of those bees to find a new home. We call that flight a swarm. The rest of the year, typically they don't swarm. Usually by the end of May, they're done. Again, there's always some exception there, but for the most part, this is the time in which they do a true swarming. Now, our goal is to catch one of those swarms. And the reason why is because as a beekeeper, I want to keep my supply of bees growing. And I want to keep new genetics always going through my bees because it usually makes for a healthier beehive. One of the downsides of beekeeping is the cost of bees. Not the equipment, just bees. When you buy a package of bees or a nuke of bees, it can run as much as $200 per nuke, which is per hive, just for the bees. That gets pretty expensive. So if you've never made a bait box to capture swarms, let me show you how we're going to do that to save you a lot of money. To start with, I have a box here. This box is actually made either as a transport box or as a swarm bait box. So we're going to use it, and I'm going to show you how we bait it up. So to start with, this bait box only has one entrance, and it's this 2-inch window right here. And bees aren't looking for really more entrance than that. That's plenty for them to fly in and out of pretty quickly. They're generally in the wild looking for a hollow oak tree, your walls, because they would love to move into between your external and your internal walls. They love living in those cavities as well. But when they're looking only for a small opening to go in and then plenty of room on the inside. So they fly in, they're looking for, is there room here? If there was a hive there once before, the smell of that prior queen is very alluring to them, and they'll start building. And if there's still some comb in there, the queen can start laying eggs immediately, and the bees can start filling that comb with honey and with pollen while they're making more comb. So those are the things a bee primarily is looking for. We're going to mimic a hole in the wall, a hole in an oak tree, and give them what they're looking for in hopes that we capture a swarm this year. Okay. So we got a bait box. This is referred to as a deep bait box. There are different heights. Give an example. This is a deep frame that goes in a deep bait box. This is a medium frame. So you can do a comparison and see the difference there, right? Okay, so we will put the deeps, in this case on the far right, since my opening is on the far left. I'm going to put a couple of mediums on the left. Now, when they come in and they don't look up and there's immediately a ceiling right above them. When they come in, there's space because these are mediums, not deeps. And this is what they've got 4 or 5 inches between the bottom and before the frame begins. So they see room. They smell old comb, so that's bringing them in. That's what these frames are going to do. And we'll put a handful of these in. Now, I have room for one more. That one more is an old frame. See how dark that is? When I hold it up to the light, I can't even see light through it. It's so old. Generally, in a hive, that means this is ready to be replaced. There's not a lot of wax left in here. There may be some, but not much. But instead of getting rid of it, I'm going to do something unique. Because again, I want them to have room to come in, fly around, and they want to build new comb. They don't want to just rely on the comb that I gave them. They need room to build more. So I'm going to take my hive tool, and I'm going to put a slice about 2 inches from the top on both sides. The next thing I'm going to do, let's move this to the side, let's make this a little more center. Now I've got wire all throughout here that came with the foundation to prevent when this gets heavy in the summer full of honey, it doesn't collapse on itself. I don't need much of that wire. In fact, really, I don't need any of that wire. This is going to be in the bottom box, and I don't take honey from the bottom boxes. That's the bees. If you take from their resource and not the extra, you're robbing from your bees, and you can kill your bees. They'll starve. So I'm going to snip these wires out of here. Okay, so what the bees will do with this is it will come up to the bottom of this, what's left here, and they actually will clean it up, and they will draw down from there all brand new comb. So they'll fill this frame in with brand new comb. Okay, for now, it gives them not only some old comb to work on, but it also gives them a lot of space where they see they can make more comb. So now we've got our bake box loaded up with frames. The next step I'm going to do is I've got a small jar of, without spilling it, lemongrass soil. Okay? So, and you could pick this up at a health food store. It's generally where we get ours from. I'm going to pull these frames out because I'm going to show you how we use the lemongrass oil. So lemongrass oil is very alluring smell-wise for the bees. I don't know if it mimics the queen. I've heard it does. It definitely smells like something citrus, so which is alluring in itself for bees. All right, I put a little bit on a Q-tip. I'm going to take the entrance and I'm going to wipe it right on the entrance here. I'm going to wipe it right on the back of the box, right up here on top. Because they're going to come in and this is going to get them to come all the way to the back. And then right on the top of these, I just put back in. And that's it. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to snip the tip of this. I'm going to take that little piece of Q-tip with the lemongrass oil and I'm just going to drop it down inside there in the back. And that's it. I put my lid on. Now usually from here I put a bungee cord around it or a strap of some kind to hold it down. And then we're going to go mount this up in a tree. I have an old deer stand on the property from, I don't know, somebody who lived here years before me. I may, if it's in good condition, I may get up there with a ladder and put it up on the deer stand. I've got bees as high as low as 3 feet off the ground to as high as 12 feet off the ground. So I don't know if it really matters on height. Make it easy for yourself. Again, here on the farm, we really try to practice lean beekeeping. It makes a difference. Makes a difference on your back, and it just makes a difference all the way around. You just can be more efficient. All right, I'll show you how I install it. I decided to go ahead and mount the bait box on one of the posts by the apple orchard. Like I said, this spring brings a lot of beautiful stuff. But this wind is not the best. We'll get this support in here. All right, they're in place. I brought my level. And I'll explain why. These are not perfectly level, and that's okay. I'm actually going to have to cut this screen. I got some deer fencing up here. My level, it's actually almost perfectly level that way. And it is down a little bit my way. Now I have a honeybee already flying around me. she smells the bait box. So find which side is your lower side. You don't want it lower by much. This is lowered by 1/2 inch, and that's it. And the reason why, let me show you. I'm going to come around the other side and I will show you why. All right, up we go. So this is the front of my box. You can see the entrance right here. Bees, it seems as though they prefer the entrance of their hive to be slightly angled down from the rest of the hive. Maybe it's for wind resistance, maybe it's for reducing moisture and water buildup in the hive. I don't know, but it seems more often than not they'll have more success if the front is slightly angled down. So since the other side is the lower side, then we're going to make the front of this angled I think we got it. Stand back and take a look from your angle. Yep, you can see how the front is slightly down, not much. That's a 1/2 inch. And anyway, so we're doing everything we can to make this bait box more desirable for the bees. All right, now as you also can see, I've got a bungee cord wrapped around it. That's going to keep my lid on, and then I'm going to wrap it with a strap around the pole. Okay, that's in there nice and firm. The lid's on nice and tight. We have old comb in here with space for the bees to build more. We've got the entrance to the lower edge area of the box on the lower end. We've got our lemongrass oil on the back, on the very tops of the frames in the back, and at the entrance to lure them in, which seems to already be working because just a minute ago I had a couple of bees already checking me out or checking out the box. So, and now I've got to mount it up on this pole. This pole, I'm at what, 8 feet off the ground, if that, 7 feet. So I'm not super high. So anyways, it's set up and it's ready to go. Have fun with this. I wish you the best of luck. And until we see you again on the next video, have a good day.